On March 31st, 2026, that was my last day at work after 36 years in human resources. For at least 15 or 16 of those years of my career, I helped hundreds of employees prepare for retirement by explaining benefits, explaining their pension, explaining retirement dates and their paperwork. I thought I knew all there was about retirement, but I was wrong because no one, not even someone like me who spent years helping people retire, can fully prepare you for what happens. And I mean, what happens emotionally after you walk out those doors for the last time. And today, I want to tell you what surprised me most because retirement can be 10, 5 years, or 5 months away. But you deserve to know what nobody talks about. Hello, my name is Veronica, and I recently retired after 36 years in human resources. And during my career, I specialized in retirement and benefits and many other functions in HR. Now I've started this channel for one simple reason. And that's because people spend decades planning financially for retirement, which is, they should. But almost nobody prepares emotionally. And this channel is here to change that. Okay, so the last day came and, I got up, got prepared for my last day of work, driving to work. I was excited and I got into my office and I didn't pack a lot because I had just gotten into my office like a year ago and I didn't take a lot because I knew in a year I was going to be gone. So I had packed everything that I brought in, and I had to meet with IT to turn in my laptop, my badge, my keys, and I did that. So as I was saying goodbye to those that worked in the office suite that I worked in, it was sort of surreal, but I had been preparing because I had a calendar on my door that I marked off every day, including the weekends. So as I walked through the doors, leaving, I got in my car and I turned on that song by Kool and the Gang, Celebrate Good Times, Come On, and I played it blasting all the way home. There was no silence in that car. I did not want to hear it. And I just wanted to enjoy the moment of leaving. However, once I got home, I put everything down because the next day I had to get on the road to watch my grandson who lived several hours away. But as I got home that day and I thought about the years, the people, I was thankful for a career that lasted that long. And but I started thinking about what it was going to feel like the next day to get up and not have to think about getting ready for work. Just going on about my day, doing whatever I wanted to the next day without any meetings or having to report in. Those things started coming to mind. So I want to talk about 4 lessons that I learned emotionally when it comes to retirement. So lesson number 1 is that retirement isn't a vacation. Retirement is a life change. It is a life transition, a new chapter for you. And whenever you go into retirement, you need to think about it as such. You're not, you're leaving one chapter and you're starting a new one. So as you go into this, those are things that you should be thinking about. What is the next chapter of my life going to look like? Because, vacations end, but retirement will not. And I say that as not that we will be here forever, but retirement is something that continues. It doesn't stop. You are retired now, and that will change your whole life choices at that point. Okay, so lesson number 2 is now your calendar belongs to you. There's no one to tell you what to put on it. There might be. But as far as work is concerned, there's no, pin in this time to meet. None of that. It's gone. You can pin in what you decide for the most part. And I know that sounds, great. Hey, I can do that until the next workday. Are you prepared for that? Are you prepared to not having to do that? Yeah, are you prepared emotionally of not having to have a meeting? As I drove to my daughter's that next day, because I retired on a Tuesday, and so Wednesday came and I did not have to prepare for work. I was in my car driving to my daughter's home, and it wasn't until I was probably several hours into the drive that I realized, I don't have to be in the car driving, talking in a meeting. That is great. It hit me that, I don't even have to do that. And so those are things that you need to prepare your mind for, because that time that you normally would do that structure that you normally have will be gone, and you will have to give yourself some type of structure for your day. Okay, lesson number 3. Lesson number 3 is about your identity. So your identity will change overnight. The day before retirement, you will have a title as far as work is concerned. And the day after, the title is gone. So for instance, on March 31st, I was a human resource officer. On April the 1st, I was retired. No more human resource officer, no more servicing 5,000 plus customers, none of that. That was gone. And mentally, you have to prepare that overnight, your identity basically changed. You went from being a person in your position, whatever your title may be, to the next day not even having a title. So you need to prepare yourself emotionally for that change. And I recommend that you start doing that as soon as possible, because it is a totally different mindset when it comes to who you are, who you were, and now those things don't go with your introduction of yourself anymore. And it will feel strange. for a time. However, when people ask me now, I'm excited. They say, "Hey, um, what do you do?" And I'm like, "I'm retired." And I'm happy about that because I'm retired and I can I have so much more to give, so much more to offer. And that is one of the things that I want to do with this channel is help you prepare for that time that you're going to have when you get to this point that I am, where you can say that you are retired. Okay. Lesson number 4 is about purpose. So once you retire, again, like I said in the beginning, you move to the next chapter. And a lot of people say that, my 9 to 5 paid for my passion or my purpose. And I believe that. There are so many things that I learned during the time that I was working. And I can use those things now to help others. Your purpose did not disappear because you have gained so many things that you can now transfer into this new chapter. Your purpose has just been redesigned to be given a different way. And as you get ready to retire and you're thinking about retirement, that's a thing that you need to think seriously about. What is my purpose? What will I do after retirement? Who knows? You may look into getting a whole different career. You may be on YouTube here, just like I am. So think about those things as you continue to go about working toward retirement, or if you are retired already, this is something that you need to be thinking about. What is your purpose now? Whether your purpose is a hobby, starting a business, whatever that may be. Keep that in mind. Work toward that. If you're retiring within the next 5 to 10 months or 5 to 10 years, or if you're even just thinking about retiring, subscribe to this channel, because this channel is not going to be just about retiring. It's going to be about you creating a life that you want to wake up to. And remember, you are far more capable than you could ever imagine. I'll talk with you on the next video.